Finding the perfect case. In law school research exercises, you are often asked to find a case with particular facts which exactly match the situation your client is in. This isn't quite as rare as a unicorn, because it isn't a completely mythical beast. Running a search for cases exactly like yours is sort of a Hail Mary pass. Sometimes they work, but most of the time, there will not be one perfect case that meets all your facts. There will be a series of cases, each of which illustrates one small part of your legal argument. This video will discuss the factors involved in picking perfect cases, not the single case that answers all your questions, but the many cases that, taken together, through an argument crafted by you, find the answer to your research question. The first factor you need to consider in selecting cases is what is your jurisdiction. Only cases within your jurisdiction are binding, so use cases within your jurisdiction, be it state or federal, or both, even if they don't exactly say what you want them to. Remember that you are morally obligated to point out binding legal authority that goes against the point you want to make. Use cases from outside your jurisdiction only as persuasive authority to argue for a change in the law, or when faced with a question of first impression, or as a research tool to lead you to cases within your jurisdiction. Within your jurisdiction, the decision of a higher court is to be preferred to that of a lower court, even if it is less like the facts in your situation. Build your argument starting with principles from cases at the highest levels if you can, and add shading with lower level decisions that more closely match the facts of the question you are researching. How to decide which cases to look for. First, do enough research to have a theory of the case and outline the causes of action, the affirmative defenses, the relief sought. Where are your facts an easy match to the elements, and where do you need to make an argument that your case just falls within those parameters somehow? Make sure you identify the legally relevant facts. For example, if you're trying to apply the Grimes burglary statute, start with the words of the statute. Grimes General Laws, Chapter 266, crimes against property, burglary, being armed, or making an assault. Identify the elements of the cause of action. Whoever breaks and enters a dwelling house in the nighttime with intent to commit a felony, any person being lawfully therein, and is armed with a dangerous weapon at the time, or so arms himself in the house, or makes an actual assault on a person lawfully therein, shall be punished by imprisonment in the state prison for life, or for any term of not less than 10 years. Don't expect to find a case with facts identical to yours. Focus on one element at a time. For example, what is meant by dwelling house? Is the structure in our facts legally considered a dwelling house? Look for cases using a variety of search methods. Start with a secondary source to get a general overview and lead you to one good case, or, if you're lucky, relevant cases within your jurisdiction. If you are interpreting a statute, what cases can the annotated codes provide you? If you have one good case, but it's outside your jurisdiction, how can you use that to find cases within our jurisdiction? Does it cite other good cases? Can you use its headnotes that digest topics and key numbers or other outlines of the law to find cases on point? Can you find relevant cases using a full text search? Can you shepherdize our key site to find additional cases? Find the highest authority within your jurisdiction that makes your argument. If you find a great case from another jurisdiction or a lower court, use it to locate the best match you can from a higher court within your jurisdiction. And use lower courts sparingly, but only as those facts are closer to your own. But compare not just the facts of the cases you find with your facts, also consider the court's reasoning. Even if your facts are different from the case you are reading, assess whether the court's reasoning could be applicable to your case. You don't need one case that matches your facts. You need a series of cases that allow you to make a coherent argument that your facts do or do not fall within this particular element of the claim or defense. If you focus too closely on your facts, you may miss sight of important case law from within your jurisdiction that strongly supports your case.